I have one baby daddy. I have one baby daddy.
Do you have custody of your
kids? I have one baby daddy. I have one baby daddy. So what are you talking about?
Do you have custody of your kids?
I don't have custody of my kids.
I think so.
I don't
Talking
have
about terrible human custody. You want to
I
go
don't-
personal?
I
You
don't
can
have-
really
I
take
don't
it
have
there.
custody of
You don't
my
have
kids.
custody because
Hey,
you're
I
a
don't
terrible
have-
person.
hey, I don't have
You're a
custody.
mother and a terrible person.
So meth addict. Listen. Hold on. He said I don't have custody
She
of my
said
kids.
I'm a terrible
Do I have
person.
custody of my
We want to
kids?
do personal attacks.
Do I
We
have
can do
custody
that.
of my kids? I do. Thank
You want to do personal attacks? We can do that.
My premise is here though. I do have custody of my kids though. Yeah.
You just said you don't. You just said you don't.
Yes, I did.
So do you or do you not? So do you or do you not? So do you or do you not?
No, okay, no. Sit down, man. Bro, mediate the situation, bro. Come on, bro. Mediate. Come on, man.
Why is the kid
Suspect.
Bro, I'm not even talking. Alright, I'm not even talking. Thank you, baby.
I'm not editing this video. I'm having a full-blown anxiety attack and I'm trying to calm down. I'm not editing. I'm showing y'all everything in real time. And it's okay if the internet doesn't agree with me. But they call me dramatic. Let me tell y'all something. I pay all the bills in this house. I like to be clean because one, from trauma. Two, is just who I am as a person. We have a big house. I clean this house up all day by myself. All day. I have big kids in this house. I haven't been downstairs in 24 hours because I said, I'm not in the mood to clean up downstairs. Told my daughters live downstairs. We live upstairs. Told my daughters yesterday, I just cleaned up the whole house upstairs. All I ask is for downstairs to be clean because I need to come down there and go to the laundry room. I just walked down the steps. I'm going to show y'all what downstairs look like. I want my daughters walk around here with their hair done. Every pair of sneakers that come out. They got iPhones. They got iPads. They got their own room. They get everything they heart fucking desires. You hear me? I treat these kids like gold. I believe they should live a soft fucking life. I don't ask them for nothing. All I ask is for them to get this fucking house clean because I cannot take the dirt, bro. I'm about to go downstairs and I'm about to show y'all this. And y'all natural reaction is going to say, walk away, let them clean it. They had the opportunity to clean this shit. They will not clean it. I purposely didn't put a garbage bag inside the garbage for 3 days. I walked past it for 3 because I said I want to see who's going to put a garbage. You know they've been taking the garbage and putting it in the dustbin. Remind you, the garbage bags is right there. All you got to do is open up the count. They refuse, son. They refuse, and I could act so nicely. I could ask and I could ask and I could ask. But when I get to this point where I feel like bugging out, like I feel like yelling, screaming, and breaking shit. Because why can't y'all just... I can't walk away from it. So I'm about to go downstairs and I'm about to show y'all what it looked like. And y'all gonna say in the comment section, I would have walked away, I would have left it. No way in hell I'm gonna clean it. My fucking soul won't let me walk away from it. Y'all don't understand. Maybe it's related to trauma or whatever it is. If I look at downstairs right now and I try to go about my day, it's gonna be on my mind all day. So yes, I'm going to clean it because I cannot take it. But while I'm cleaning it, I'm losing it in my mind because it's like, my nigga, why? How can you live like this? Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? What is this? I don't even know what this is. Look at this. How do you just, you don't even get yourself together. When you get yourself together, look at this. So you literally eat food and you put it in the chair next to, oh, it gets worse. Look at the dresser. You sit your food here like it's a garbage. Bags and bags of fucking garbage. Clothes everywhere. Why is the bikes in from the garage? Why? Why is there bikes inside? Look at my laundry room. What? Oh my God. Remind y'all, I am exhausted. I am so tired. And I took today off because I said, you know what, I'm going to just lay down and relax. But my brain physically will never allow me to close my eyes with my house looking like this. Even if it's out of sight, it's not out of mind for me. The amount of a half-drinking water bottles that I found in this one room makes me never want to buy water again. And that's not who I am as a person. Why do I have to alter who I want to be to them as a mom, who I am as a person? Because you won't fucking clean? It physically and mentally hurts me when I have to be mean to these children, because that's not how I parent. It's not who I am. You know how many kids are out here praying for a home with food and a mom that loves them? I treat these kids with emotional understanding. I meet these kids where they're at all times. I be mindful of how I parent them because I don't want them to face anything I've ever had to go through. And the only thing I require is one thing: keep your space clean. I'm not asking you to clean behind nobody but your damn self. And that's too much of a task for you to do. I want to crash out for real, y'all. I'm not even going to lie. I would love to.
Yeah, all right, Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach this 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect that be in the house of David. All right, today is March the 8th, year 2000. I said March, forgive me. May the 8th, year 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance. All right, the our being the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, through the seed of our fathers. On this side, the elect, all right, as well as judgment and destruction to the wicked of the earth, the so-called self-proclaimed white nation, which they're not white, they're red. And according to the Bible, they're the Edomites. But this lesson, and in particular, is going to be dealing with more so, just the division that the Lord is bringing. All right, particularly in that last clip I just showed you, you know what I'm saying? It shows, as the scriptures say, the Lord is going to break up these households, all right? That family man spirit, all right? All that shit is getting broken up, all right? This woman, all right, she's living in her house, this black woman, all right? She's basically pent upstairs because her daughters are filthy, all right? And we know what the scriptures speak about, you know what I'm saying? These women of Zion, all right? Ain't a lot of good things to be said about them, all right, But anyway, we're going to go through it and break it down. So dealing with the last clip, first and foremost, let me read this right quick. In Luke chapter 12, starting at verse 51, it says, "Suppose ye," and this is written in red, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right. It says, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division." All right, so the Lord is coming to break up, all right, households. The Lord is only coming back to bring together the house of David. He's coming to break up the house of Saul. All right, verse 52, "For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. All right, and I didn't hear that woman say nothing about a man. All right, nothing about her daughter's father living in the house, whether it be one or multiple. You know what I mean? Whatever, you know how that go. It says, Luke 12:53, "The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother." All right, and that's what we just saw, It say the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. All right. And it's also in Matthew chapter 10 as well. It tells you on how a man's foe should be there of his own household. All right. And she's, you know what I'm saying, that woman needs leadership, her own goddamn self, all right? You see how she's, you know what I'm saying, she's steady spoiling these children, all right, and not holding them accountable, all right? She's talking about they walking around with the newest this, the newest that, but they're keeping, you know what I'm saying, the crib absolutely filthy, all right? And that just goes to show that these women weren't created to be head of households. They weren't created to be, what's the word? The authority. Well, I ain't gonna say authoritative because they should in some cases be that, but they weren't created to be the man, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures tell you a man is supposed to rule over a woman. All right, and if she was with, you know what I'm saying, their father. All right, if she picked right, or if she was, there's a lot of ways you can go with that. But if she was with their father, they'd be much better off, all right? Or if they were with their father, they would be better off, all right? But then you can look at that sideways too, because a lot of these niggas out here is weak as well. But it just shows, you know what I'm saying, that without a man over the head of the congregation, you know, it's not gonna roll correctly. That's why the Lord said, "Let a man be over the congregation." All right, so I'm gonna go to Matthew 10 right quick. 34, it say, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." You know, it's kind of like what it was saying in Luke. It say, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household." All right, and even with this truth, all right, you know, some brothers live with other family members, and they ain't a part of this truth, all right, and they're a foe. But at the same time, you know, the Lord gives the scriptures say, when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies be at peace with him. All right, so you can, you know, find peace in that when the Lord is dealing with you. But these 2/3, all right, no, they not gonna have that, because at the end of the day, the Lord is getting ready to wrap this thing up, that being America. All right, and he's gonna bring these 2/3 against each other. The Lord gonna choose their delusions. All right, you know, father and sons are gonna fight, mothers and daughters are gonna fight. All right, all of that, because they don't hear the word of the Lord. This Isaiah 66:4. "I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not." All right, that's the 2/3. All right, the Lord is going to choose the delusion. All right, and some of these delusions are going to be, you know, turmoil within the household. All right, and it's going to lead to some unalivings. All right, you know what I'm saying? Especially during Jacob's trouble. All right, when it's food shortages and, you know what I'm saying, shortages of food shortages, just everything across the board. All right, when the mirth is gone from the land, all right, all of that, what is Jake gonna do? All right, they're gonna turn on each other like they have done in their previous generations. All right, Jake is known for, you know, turning on each other when shit gets hard. All right, and who's gonna suffer these things the worst? All right, the woman. All right, the big black woman. All right, as they got to put up in New York City. All right, a giant statue of this big old black woman. All right, and you black women, all right, should be offended by that shit. All right, not you elect sisters, because y'all know what time it is, but just, you know what I'm saying, black women in general, you should be offended by that shit. All right, that's how they see you nigga women. All right, is big Keishas. All right, big jiggly arms, big backs, big legs, big faces. All right, braided hair. All right, all of that. They stereotype the shit out you nigga women. All right, but you got nigga women taking pictures with the damn statue. All right, just goes to show our people are still, you know what I'm saying, that Deuteronomy 28, they still are astonishments, proverbs and bywords. All right, you know what I'm saying, Deuteronomy 28:37, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all the nations, whether the Lord Yahweh Shah shall lead thee." All right, and that's why they got a big ass statue of the nigga woman in the middle of New York City. All right, the most popular city in the world. All right, Eve, big old ass, is right there slap in the middle of it. All right, ain't that some shit? You know what I'm saying? And what else I have in that? I also had another clip. All right, Eve was, you know what I'm saying, talking that shit with a Jake on this podcast about you know what I'm saying, more moral characteristics. All right, and you see, all right, that demon came out of her. All right, I didn't mean to go to that one. You know what I'm saying? When Jake called on her shit, all right, asked her was she did she have custody of her children? All right, in the beginning she said no. All right, but then that liar came out, you know, and that's a characteristic of a woman as well. All right, you know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy 28:56, "The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. All right, so they eyes are evil toward the men of their nation. All right, you know, and that goes again into these households being broken up too. All right, Jacob, all right, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man is not on the same page with the majority of the women of the tribes. All right, the Lord is only coming back for the elect men and elect sisters. All right, the majority of our people, 2 out of 3 of them, are slated to die right here, over here in the land of the north, Babylon the Great. All right, and that big bitch statue that they put up, all right, that shit is gonna burn up here with the rest of you wicked niggas. All right, and niggettes. All right, and niggites. All y'all gonna catch that slaughtering. All right, they're gonna catch that fire from the Lord. Jacob's trouble is coming. All right, it's, you know, it's right here around the corner. Right here around the corner. All right. So, you know, I'm gonna get ready and close, and I ain't gonna make this, you know what I'm saying, too long. Let's see something right quick. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Oh, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna read this in Lamentations 2. All right, because again, dealing with that statue, bro. Man, this is a mockery. All right, if you ask me, it's a fucking mockery. All right. Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. All right, verse 17, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, had done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the old days. In the days of old. He had thrown down and had not pitied, and he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He had set up the horn of thine adversary. All right, so again, we them that astonishment in that proverb and that byword. All right, you know, the Lord wanted us to be brought that low because our wickedness. All right, and only the elect in the state that they in right now, all right, are repentant and remorseful and feel bad about going off. All right, want Yahweh Shem Yahushua to redeem us, get us out of this state. But the 2/3 of our people, they don't even see it. They don't even recognize when they're being mocked. All right, they don't even recognize when these heathen nations are, especially Esau, all right, I'm making fun of them, all right? And that's why you got a 12-foot, big-ass black woman, all right, standing in the middle of New York City, all right? They ain't even give you a Beyonce-looking woman, all right? And Beyonce is a demon and a wicked witch of Babylon, but I'm just saying, they ain't even give, but she's who these niggas idolize the most. They ain't even give you that. They gave you Lizzo, all right? The small version. All right, the Ozempic version of Lizzo, all right? And our people, you know what I'm saying, they eat it up just like they always do, all right? And that's why they got to be destroyed. So that's it for the lesson, you know what I'm saying? This wasn't meant to be too deep, just something, you know what I'm saying, I seen and want to speak on for a minute. All right, read some scriptures, Lord willing. All right, it flowed together and made sense and was edifying. All right, all honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Royal Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach this 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord select that be in the house of David. All right, Poem Yasharal and the Bible Ball. Shalom.